Yo, honestly, I am loving these conversations because I need sleep and I'm picking up on all these tips right now and I hope you are too, Mzansi. And speaking of tips, here's another one coming through for you, a special one indeed. Now, exercising improves sleep for many people. Now, specifically moderate to vigorous exercises, which can increase sleep quality for adults by reducing sleep onset or the time it takes to fall asleep. And it also decreases the amount of time they lie awake in bed during the night. Now, on top of this, physical activity also can help alleviate daytime sleepiness and for some people, reduce the need for sleep medication. So, of course, sticking to that theme right now and here to serve you up the good stuff, someone that's going to be taking us through some of these workouts and that can especially help when it comes to sleep. We've got personal trainer Heinrich Basson in the building. Heinrich, how you doing, man?
Well, good, well, good. It's given a lot to think about. I think
a lot to think about.
Going to bed tonight, I'm going to be honing in on this conversation again, just to make sure.
One thing I picked up on the earlier conversation was obviously our spine's quite important when it comes to sleep, and also the stiffness that we have. And I know working out and movement often alleviates that. It gets fluidity, it gets that mobility back. So I'm assuming you can get a little bit of that from exercising, right?
I think one of the important things, exercise, as we mentioned, promotes sleep. And I think one of the good things to mention as well, if you're exercising at night, you kind of want to ensure that you are still awake for about 1 to 2 hours after exercise, just to give your body time to actually calibrate itself.
Both
from a core temperature, but also just from endorphins. You want to get the endorphins, but you also want to allow your body to actually calm down from that, to give you that good feel factor before you actually naturally fall asleep.
Nice tip. All right, let's get into it,
So just to get into it, we're going to, again, work on a range of different movements, some mobility, some around the spine, but also just posture. So it all ties in pretty nicely.
Brilliant.
So we're going to start off just with basic mobility or inchworm, which is absolute gold, as we mentioned earlier. So you're going to start off for me nice and simple. You're just hunching over, keeping the legs relatively straight, extended, hunch over, walk, 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 until, again, we are horizontal. And that's where the posture and the back position comes into the equation.
And I'm imagining a core is a big component of that.
Exactly. Right? If your core is not firing, generally your posture is also not going to be firing. From there, again, as we go up, ensuring we're moving with quality and purpose, as opposed to just getting through the movement. We'll do one more just again for, I want to say, fluidity. Down we go. All the way horizontal.
Nice.
And again, don't rush. If you do feel that you do need to take an extra second as you sort of enter that horizontal, take an extra second. There's nothing rushing you in this instance.
Yeah, I find that the slower you go with it, the better it is as well, because you're getting that accentuation of the mobility in the rear end. But at the same time, the shoulders are getting stimulated by forcing that balance, forcing that stability. So great one indeed.
I think intensity-wise as well, especially doing it to promote sleep, you really don't have to go too vigorous, especially night time.
Exactly. I like that. What do you got for us?
From there, we're going to actually use the inchworm to get into position, just for argument's sake again. So again, we're going down, horizontal. From here, we're going to focus now on is raising our hand up. So you're just going to go to shoulder height. Again, higher than shoulder will affect the posture negatively. So all you're doing is arm goes up, try and balance, back down, control the movement once again. Forward we go. Again, you will find the slight rotation in the hips. Nothing to be too concerned about. You just don't want the hips to be going all over the place. That's the main thing.
So and a little bit of shaking is not a bad thing necessarily.
Not a bad thing. It actually does show that the core is firing, and trying to do its job.
All right, trying to counterbalance and keep you up there.
Exactly. So as we've done that, again, just to relieve some tension in between movements, we're going to stay sort of in an all-fours position. Just some strength work, just basic push-ups, just again to get a bit of contraction in the back as well. So as we are in a push-up, you can do this on the knees off the floor. It really doesn't matter whatever your fitness level is. We're going to go down, nice and controlled, all the way up. And a nice full extension at the top, especially giving this, I want to say rhomboids in between the shoulder blades. Time to actually decompress and compress. One more. All the way up, and nicely done.
And then with regards to, obviously, I love the fact that you're bringing in the movement key practices, some of the highlights and some of the do's and don'ts. But when it comes to actually executing this, how many reps, or are we going for time?
So again, for the sake of the promoting sleep aspect, we kind of don't want to be pushing too much intensity-wise, so I wouldn't suggest using time for this. Rather work within a threshold, a rep threshold, between sort of a 5 to 10 ratio, I'd say. You can do rather less reps, more rounds at the end of the day as well.
Quantity.
Exactly.
And that's obviously easier for a lot of us that are pressed with time. You don't have to get all of it into that amount of time. Just get the quality going, and that's going to give you a big box tick.
And then we just want to have a look at the spine itself, and now look at a nice rotation. So again, in an all-fours position. From there, we're going to rotate left arm first, and we're going to move with our body going towards our left side. So you're rotating outwards, giving your hips chance to actually twist. From there, arm horizontal, or I want to say parallel, back down, rotate the hips once again slightly, give yourself time, up we go, back down.
Oh, nice.
One more on the other side.
Kind of shoulder stabilization coming into play. The core
again,
is still working as well with those obliques on top of it.
A bit of shaking really isn't a bad thing. It does show that things are moving in the right direction. So you want to put it all together in a few movements quickly?
I don't. Yeah, let's do it quickly while we've got a little bit of time going
even
through
just
one
rep.
session.
So let's go just for 1 rep to 2 reps in between each movement.
Okay,
so
cool.
Inchworm down.
Inchworm.
From there, we're already going to go into our raise.
Right.
Arm
Raise
up.
it up.
Arm up. From there into our push-up. Nice and controlled. From there, after our push-up, we're going to our T-spine row. So from there, we're rotating to the left.
Ah, okay, so it's a nice complete flow. I like this, so nice.
To the right. And then walking our way back up. And nicely done.
Booyah,
There we are,
beautiful
bang for
stuff. Welcome to Sleep Central. And if you've done a workout like that, then you're going to definitely feel the positivity that Heinrich's been mentioning. If you have any more questions when it comes to exercises or anything related to that, then reach out to this man online right now. He's got all the knowledge that you might need. And of course, I hope this has given you more insight into another tip that you can add to getting your sleep on. Brother, thank you so much. That was awesome, man.